Hello. Happy Wednesday night. Okay. Ooh. Not a good place for my mic, so let's move it. Maybe there.
Sure. Be fine. Hello, happy Wednesday. Okay, so hi Eden, welcome. If you're not sure who we are, I'm KT James. My sign name is this. I'm a co-host for Definitely Readers Book Club, and this club discusses books with deaf and hard of hearing characters, their representation, signing representation, that kind of things, or books written by deaf and hard of hearing authors. I'm hard of hearing, I have hearing aids. I will be simcomming, which is signing and speaking simultaneously. Also, I will be voice interpreting for Desiree. Desi, do you want to introduce yourself? Yes. Hello, I am Desiree. You can call me Desi. This is my sign name. I am deaf and I'll be voice off tonight and I'll be sign only. And Carrie will be interpreting for me. So I'm happy to have you guys here. Yes, so we're on the last 5 chapters of this book. It's in the bio up there. Secrets Don't Stay Buried by J.D. Mills. So, and hello, Heather. Welcome, happy Wednesday. This book that we read is a spooky mystery kind of book for October. It is written by a hard of hearing deaf author. Honestly, I'm not sure how they identify. Something that we can ask, because on Monday night we have an author interview. We'll be here on TikTok, and it'll be starting, or excuse me, my voice is not good tonight. Sorry. Okay, again, we'll try this again. Author interview on TikTok with J.D. Mills, who is the author for this book that we read recently. This book is their debut book. They do have a new one that will be releasing, I think it's going to be in February of 2026. I don't know if it's the second book or what, but they do have one right now. I think it's with ARC Readers or something. I'm not sure. We can ask them on Monday night. So that is Monday night around 8:30 Central Standard Time here on TikTok. We will be simcomming. I will be simcomming. JD will be simcomming. And Desi, I don't know if you... It depends on how loud it is here with the kids and everything. So when my husband is going to bed and the kids go to bed, so we'll see. I don't want you to get overwhelmed with voice interpreting for me, and then also some calming for myself, and just a lot going on. So, but all that to say, so I probably will be voice interpreting for Desi. Maybe we'll see how it goes. We can just do it, relax, take a break, that kind of thing, and not just constantly back and forth, so that I can process some of the things. Right. Hey, Hope. Welcome. So before we start tonight, just a reminder, tomorrow I will be emailing the list of questions to J.D. Mills and Desiree at the same time. I will be gathering all the questions that we have in Discord. And then also our normal questions that we often ask, like, what's your favorite book? Why did you choose to write horror? Thriller, really. It's not horror. So, sorry, I had a pop-up notification distracted me. My bad. But I will be sending emailing the questions tomorrow. So if you have any last minute that you want to add, go to the Discord. There is an author question group. Just put them there. I've already gotten the ones that were there now. So it's there. That is tomorrow. We'll be emailing those. They have the weekend to prepare. And we will have TikTok. Yes, Monday is so exciting. I'm really excited to ask some questions because honestly, I think this will be the first. Well, no, we had Amelia Logan, who is late deafened, but other than that, this is the first like hard of hearing deaf author that we will have, and so no. Oh, that's right. AC Toy. I forgot. That was recently too. Oh, I'm tired. So Hope, if you can't get them in time, we can always email them like Saturday or something and said, hey, we have another question that popped up, last minute. That's not a problem. They're not going to be upset if we don't get it, tomorrow. I just want them to have enough time. So Eden, Mary, we've already did her interview. This is when we found out that Instagram has a new rule where you have to have 1,000 followers on Instagram. So technically, it's already done. She started the live, so it's on her Instagram account, and we couldn't get it off. But if you want to see the interview, it's still on her account on Instagram, so you can go visit that. And it's not pinned, no. So you might have to scroll because she posts so often, but it was last month at the end of the month, so it's probably like 20 posts back. Scroll. So her, I want to, is Mary Meekum _author, right? Oh, 1 minute. We can look. Yes, that. So MARYMECHAM _author. Yeah. So anyway, we were a little bit disappointed because we wanted to save that interview and upload it to YouTube, but we were happy we could interview because we tried a lot of different things to try to get it, and just did she try? No, like if she on her download on her favorites, if she turned that on, it means that she can download on her videos. I'm not sure. Maybe, yeah, if you look at it, you can save it to your device. Oh, I can try it later and see if we can. She said she turned it on, but I couldn't get it the last time I tried, but I will try it again just to make sure, and I'll let you guys know. I will say that Instagram Live is very different than TikTok Live because it's easy to download TikTok Lives. Instagram, you have to have it already set up before that you want to download it. so where it automatically downloads after, or so you can go back and like click to download. So I don't think that was set up because it was a surprise. Like, you know, we were going last minute. Hey, we can't. Yeah. Oh well. So it's okay. But it was a good interview with her. And then also, if you've not seen, she's doing a Kickstarter thing. I don't know, sign that. She's doing a book, like, you know, pretty gold, with a lot of pictures and like character art. She's doing that. So just information, you can get just Hunting Sirens by itself. You don't have to get all 3 or 4 books that she's doing. You can. It is expensive, but they're beautiful. But if you decide to do it, just your information, it will not deliver until next year, September 2026, because she has to order it and then get it, make sure everything's okay, sign it, all of this stuff before she'll ship it to you. So it will close November 7th if you're interested. They are beautiful. I'm debating with myself if I want to ask for it for Christmas. We'll see. Anyways, okay. So, Desi, do you want to catch everybody up to where we left off last week? Last week? Let me make sure that I made a note of it, so I don't spoil it. Okay. So, basically, last week we talked about how Lennon and Finley and her group of friends, they're discussing and trying to figure out who the ghost is. And they're searching and they're analyzing, trying to figure it out. And they have a lot of different things. And as they're going along, they find out that one of their friends, Iris, no, let me back up. That they meet Ava. Ava, and they figure out what's going on, what's up, why, what's happening. So they find out that Iris has been strange. She is feeling like maybe it could be her, maybe it could not. So there's a lot of suspicion. There's a lot of suspect things going on. So I'm trying to back up. So the story is based on a girl who passed away, who died. She's unalived, and as you read it, it's the first thing that you see, and it explains about a week or two before, and that they're in college for deaf and hard of hearing students. And so Lennon is dealing with her personal issues, because something happened to her prior to this in high school, and she still has trauma from that. So Ryder, what had happened, there is a rich male who, his name is Ryder, he takes advantage of girls. And then also you find out she was one of them. And then he just brushes it off. He just does whatever he wants because of his wealth. And his family like owns a lot of things and gets him off. So one night, Lennon, her best friend, Finley, they go to a party at his house. And they're there. and Finley planned to throw eggs and destroy his car. So they put the eggs inside the car. They didn't throw them. And that's enough. That's enough. Let's just go. We're going to get in trouble. We don't want to get caught. And then later that night, we find out that Finley actually did go back and destroyed the car even more. And what's worse is she left her backpack with all the things in it, like crowbar. I don't know what else, but her name was on it. That kind of fun stuff. Yeah. And so they didn't know that was no big deal. And then there was a camera on them. And they found her bag, and Ryder was just like, who did this? Who left this? So Lennon gets a text from a strange number. She says, I know you did this, all of this kind of stuff. I know what you did. And so that text, so it gets worse as it goes along, and is sending them multiple messages. So they suspect Finley and the group, and they start to get some text to Tayan. Also gets text Lennon. No, Finley's not getting any. Ryder is the last one who gets it. Yeah, he gets the text. And now that Ryder's getting the text, that means he's off the suspect list, maybe? We don't know. So they're still trying to figure it out, and it's very messy. And during this time of this mess, they have some friendships developing, some siblings, like their sibling relationship is developing, and also there's a romance between Tayan and Lennon, and it's sweet. And it's nice to see multiple deaf and hard of hearing characters as well. There's a lot of dialogue with sign. And it's not just focused on one, the thriller, but there's also, it's a lot of things as well that mix together. So where we left off, they decide we need to catch and make sure that it's actually this person that's doing all of this. Also, we just want to add, the person who was unalived was Lennon's roommate. And we discussed that, Desi said that the book, starts with an unalivement, and then it backs up to the days prior, during the time, and then the days after. So you find out, we discussed last week that it was actually supposed to be Tayan who was in the room to be unalived. And that's Lennon's interest. Like her person that she's, interested in. So they're trying to figure out who the ghost is, who's like the stalker, sending the messages, and then figuring out who unalived Branya, which was the roommate, and then, healing from the traumatic experience in high school or camp. There's a lot. It's not just, a thriller. It's also about relationships. I loved seeing all the deaf and hard of hearing characters, but also the experiences of Felix, which is Lennon's brother, who was a little bit of sign, and he's learning more now because he realizes she needs this. Like, I can't have a full conversation with my sister. And he sees, Finley's brother is like, fluent in sign. And he sees that. So you have a lot in the book. You have people who sign, who don't know sign. You have deaf characters who voice and some who don't. Like, so there's just, it's very, it shows the actual like spectrum that the that deafness actually is. Yeah, exactly that. Eden, yes, that. So since they mostly sign, like, you really don't remember who actually is deaf or hearing in their group. When she added simcom once in a while, right? I think she added it like a few times, or that was added. So yes, so we started right. And last week we did discuss that last chapter in chapter 15. There was a lot of details in that chapter. They found the stick, or the what was it? I don't remember. It was a knife. It was that. Yeah. And it Lennon realized that she had told Branya that she would stab her in the back at one time in high school, and then it happened. So that was fun. I didn't want to get banned. I didn't want to get banned about it. I don't know. The last time that we talked about an unalivement and a few other words that I said the actual word, it said, warning. Yeah. In Discord does have some warnings. I was trying to type it up about chapter 15. And it was not letting me post it. And so I had to keep editing all my words. Oh, and Eden used the word spicy steak. That was funny. So, the way you think. And, oh yeah. It's not that way. It's actually suspicious with blood and that kind of thing. So, yes, so chapter 15 had a lot of detail. I feel like it was a long chapter. Felt like it was a little bit long since it had so much detail. And then it almost made me feel like the last 5 chapters were really quick. Like, you hit that climax of the story, and then it was just over. Yes, so Eden, there is a notification that Desi and Heather and I can see. I tried to release them, but it wouldn't let me. Your word actually that got caught was shit. It was not the other words. I think I need to adjust that that setting. Oh, true. I say unalived all the time now. Oh, it's funny. It's funny. And then if they're not on social media, they kind of just look at you and they're like, what? What are you trying to say? But, and you can't say the W word to, yeah, that word. I'm not going to say it because I don't know. Blah, blah, blah. So starting chapter 16, we see that Miss Finley tried to deny her interest in Theo, but actually she's a little bit, because she was all the time saying, ew, ew. No, I don't like him. I don't like him. And now they kissed. And it was like flirting, yeah. But it wasn't just like it wasn't a simple kiss. Like they like made out. Yeah. And then Lennon did see that footage. She was just like, what? She got pissed. So, okay. So I have like, I didn't really like that part because I feel like Lennon already knew that there was some interest there. And they had already, I thought, taken him off the list. So why was she so angry about it? I felt like seeing it, talking about it is different. Okay, yeah, I guess so. I just felt like it didn't seem to fit Lennon's personality almost. I felt like it was a little bit like out of, like the English phrase, like out of left field, like what? And Finley was already told her, I guess I will have to flirt so you can get the information. Yeah. And so she was doing her job. Yeah. Ooh, did you Eden, that comment? If we think that Finley was never one of Ryder's targets because Theo and Ryder are best friends. We should ask that. That's a good question. I need some paper to write down. Do we think Finley? Because of Theo. Cool. I wrote that down. That's a good one. That's a good question because I felt like that was a little bit interesting. He did this to so many girls, but never to Finley. Why? It's a good one. No. So, we have no idea why they're friends. We just thought that Theo did not. Ryder is very wealthy, and he's a snob, and Theo is completely the opposite. So the background story, we don't know. And maybe the next book, or if there's another book about the characters, maybe there's more background for some of the characters. Like maybe we have like Finley's story or something. I don't know. So they did put the camera in Theo's room. And is this where he gave the list of girls who Ryder manipulated? Yes. But before that, so while she was going through the footage, Wade and her were talking in the same room, and it was a good conversation between them. And she was just like analyzing about everything going on, and she felt bad about what was happening. And there's some quotes that I did like in their conversation. I didn't put down the page number, sorry, but in where this chapter 16, and it said, I think Wade said this: I don't think anyone can perceive the actions of another one that they haven't experienced with trauma. Yeah, trauma experience. they could have triggered a psychological brain and compounded her feelings of brokenness. Humans have so many variables. That's why I always prefer to focus on computers. So that quote, I felt like at that moment I was like, oh, poor Wade, because Wade sounds like he has gone through a lot too. Yeah. So I will also say that in the very beginning with Wade, they were always like referred to like their pronouns as they, but they never introduced themselves. They never said anything. It was just always using like immediately they, which I felt was a little bit off, not off, odd, since we had never like met before. It was the first time to meet, and it used like they were walking up and stayed that way. 1 minute. Okay. I will also say that we had the title of the book in the chapter and one other chapter before, and I always like seeing like the titles of the book in like when you're reading it, so you know like how the author got the name of the book. I thought that was good. And then true. Did I miss a comment? Yeah, Heather said it's dependent on your social circle. She would use they, them automatically for some people. Oh, okay. It was very interesting for me to read that because I was like, huh. It was like an immediate they. I was like, okay. I will say that J.D. Mills has some creepy phrases that are used. There was a one sentence that said, the eerie plasticity of the face that she's wearing makes my skin like itch. Like a twisted, uncanny valley effect that magnifies the strangeness and minimizes anything friendly. And it's talking about Iris in that part when she was talking to Theo, or she had met. I don't remember exactly where. But so some of the sentences that were used were creepy. But I loved it. Very. Okay, let's see. So Eden, you said it's freezing. Hey. Let me know if it's mine or Desi's. Okay, it's good. Okay. Anyways, so chapter 16, we have the discussion with Wade, where it was a good discussion. We have Finley and Theo working together. Is that where we had Iris meeting in that part? Or is that before? So they did talk about Iris. They said how Iris is not a student. Excuse me. She's not a student. She's in high school still. She's not in college yet. So I think maybe Iris, maybe not. I don't know. And I said, if so, how could she get into the school? Oh, well, I mean, most colleges, they're open. Like, you can just like follow a person into the dorm. Yes, you can. You can follow another student in the dorm. So one of my dorms were, right, true, you do. But if you're with and talking with another student, only one person has to swipe their card, and she could just go in with that. But we do find out at the end, remember, there's some information. Her best friend's mom is the director of something there. Her friend, what was her name? Yeah, later, I think it's chapter 18 or 19, you realize that. Maybe 20? I don't remember. So later you find that out. Yeah. So I do want to talk a little bit about Wade and Lennon's conversation, because it was a little bit like, So I was like, it's a good conversation. Then later, when you went back to it, it was just like so much eggs, so many hidden like Easter eggs like in the book, that part. Yeah. So the quote where they're discussing, and she's like, I just feel pity for Iris and she's suffering. So they found out that Iris and some other girl, they went to the same camp. And first Iris let her know that you're not talking with me, you left. And then so she's isolated. And so she felt bad. And so Wade says, you can't bear the burden of everyone else you ever knew. That one. I wrote that one down. I loved that quote. And then also it said, people are much more complicated than we think that they are. Just when we got them figured out, all changed instantly. Yep. And so with that, I was just like, did he tell her something? Is he trying to say anything? Is it a real conversation? Is it a warning to her or something? So can we spoil like a little bit my thoughts about this? Are you guys okay if I do that? Has everyone read everything? Maybe I need to hold that thought till later in the discussion. Yeah, go ahead. Okay. Okay. So at the end, remember he says, like, when you find out who did it, like why they were involved and that kind of thing. The time that he has that conversation is the first time that he was real with her and felt like she was an actual person and not this ideal, like bad friend that he had been told before. But she was actually a person who had trauma herself. She was like, going through things. And so I felt like that was really like something's gonna happen, but I didn't realize it until later. After. Yeah. Yes, Eden. Not going off what another person said about her, but like getting to know her. Yeah. As a real heart-to-heart conversation. And that was explained later. Mm-hmm. So after that conversation and watching the footage, later, Lennon and Finley, no, who goes back with her to her old room to go through evidence? I think it was Finley. Yeah. Yeah. And they find an earring. A gold hooped earring, and they picked it up and they're like, that they immediately recognizes that it was Iris's. Mm-hmm. Because her roommate always used silver, not gold. Yeah. And they said that they needed to prove that it was Iris's, so they asked Theo for help. And how, I think they were meeting with Iris at the coffee shop. Yeah. To chat. And Theo would use like a button camera, which, so Sarah had a question. Oh, no. It was a comment that we were talking about, I think, last night. How did they know what Theo was saying in the conversation if he has the camera is here and he's talking to Iris? How do they know what he's saying? Like, it would be hard to see his signs. He would have to like keep it like where, right? Because Iris is deaf, right? Sarah says she can't stop thinking about that. Like, how do you know what Theo is saying in the coffee shop? I was like, that's true. I don't know. So Felix is hearing, yes. And Marcus is hearing. There's a lot of characters. Bear with us. The sign is confusing and who is deaf and hearing. So deaf is Lennon, Finley, Tayan, Iris, maybe, Wade, right? I'm not sure about Wade. Maybe he's hard of hearing. Ryder? Oh, they didn't say. So maybe, so Felix and Cam and Marcus are hearing, and they're all the brothers in the book. Like, all three of them are a brother to another person in the book, and they're all hearing. Oh, Theo is hearing? I didn't realize that. I thought he was deaf. I don't know. We could always ask JD Mills on Monday who was actually deaf. It needs to be clear on who's deaf and hard of hearing and who is hearing. I mean, we don't really care. Oh, you're signing. But in the book, when we're having multiple deaf and hard of hearing characters, So maybe it'd be nice at the beginning to list the characters' names and if they are deaf and hard of hearing or hearing. Yeah, that's true. Um, so anyways, she had asked that. Yes, we need a list. Yes. So she had asked and said, I'm curious, like I keep just thinking about like this like camera, like, you know, trying to get the information, but how do they know what he's saying? I'm like, ah. So if suppose Theo is hearing and he's simcomming, and then Cam is hearing and interpreting. Okay, that would work, maybe. And I also saw yes, right. Marcus is a coda, yeah. I saw Eden, you mentioned that the messages, the text messages were getting more, like desperate. Like it felt like you need to do it now, like this kind of thing, because they were coming more frequently and they were confusing. So also what you find out is that do we find this out yet? They want Lennon to go to the police and tell them what Ryder did. Because Lennon has never told anyone until she recently told her friends and her brother what happened. So that. And they were empty. Yeah, they were empty threats. No. So with Theo and Iris, they're talking and there's a short little conversation and she said, oh, hey, I found your earring and that's mine. Thank you. I was looking all over for it. So why were you in her room? So she kind of just like flirted and she goes, oh, I was looking for something. I can't remember what she said, but she played it off. So that was a little bit weird. It was a little bit odd. And then Lennon, a little bit later, Lennon got that text that said, exposed Ryder to the police or I will tell them you did it. And talking about her roommate's unalivement. So that was right after, talking with Iris. So it was interesting for me because I felt like Theo really didn't have a good reason to ask about the earring. Like I felt like it just felt odd that, Theo got it. Oh yeah, you might want to hit pause on the detective game you're playing. So it was also, if you remember, Theo had a relationship with Iris, not like a sexual relationship, no, but more like brother and sister. And I think it actually said that's the half or his sister, like he called her that, right? And I was like, it's weird. I didn't realize that they were siblings. I just remember them being close. Yeah. No. Lennon didn't. I feel like Lennon maybe didn't listen to a lot of people. And also, why didn't she go to the cops? Okay. Well, what did I say 2 weeks ago? Oh, yeah. I know. It's Iris. And it said, I knew it. Someone was working with her, but who? And that was when they found out through the text because of, oh no, it was email. They found out through the email. That page was a little bit messed up for me. It was out of order, but they did find the email and showed the email message with Iris and another person. This page. So as soon as I saw the name uncoded, I went, it's Wade. Ah! Hi, MK. The book is really good. I've really enjoyed this book. I will say that there's a lot of deaf and hard of hearing characters that show the spectrum of deafness. I felt like it was spooky enough for Halloween, for October. But it wasn't keeping me up at night. So that was good. But I really enjoyed it. So it was a little campy. Campy for me. Not like horror, no. Just campy. Like friends trying to figure it out, who was doing that kind of vibe. So after they find that email, and the email said, I will meet you at this time on that date. And then Lennon was like, oh, okay. Well, we need to capture them. We need to go do all of this stuff and get them and set it up early. Set up the cameras. Perfect. So while that was happening, they're figuring it out. Her brother, Felix, is just like, come here. And he's signing. And he was signing, like really signing. And her quote, she said, he finally is hearing what I am saying, actually listening to me instead of letting it float in one ear and out the other. So it's nice to see that development with her brother and said, like, I'm proud of you. And she was proud too, because she was just like, you're signing. One second. I'm thirsty. So is this the part where she says, oh no, that was last time. So it was towards the end of chapter 17, right before they asked, where are you to Wade? Yeah. So, okay, that was what I wanted to say. So I made a comment on Discord about, because in the book it says, how does she word it? I'm sure there's added pressure with Cam here, who is fluent in signing, has no problem following the conversations. Like there's added pressure for her brother, who is just really learning sign, to actually take it in and sign. And I like that little note, kind of, because that's a real experience. If you're around people and you're the only hearing one who really doesn't know sign, and you're starting to pick it up a little bit, you have more pressure to learn because you don't want to be left out like most deaf people are in the hearing world. Yes, that. And I feel like that was, like Desi said it, and like I said it too on Discord, that development of that character who's realizing, if I want to actually hang around my sister, I have to learn to sign. If I want to have a conversation, I have to learn to sign. But I did like the showing of the pressure of learning sign because you're the only one who doesn't know it. Okay. January. So they set it up. So hold on the discussion. So the group, the books we're reading, we are probably going to hold until November and December and the holidays and things. But that doesn't mean that you have to stop reading. No, go ahead. The Discord is still open. We're going to be there communicating. And if you find a book that's a deaf or hard of hearing character, let us know what you think. And okay. So, but right now I'm reading another book on my own. It's a deaf character, and it's okay. I'll let you guys know what I think, and I'll write it up. Heather, you're more than a mod. So that's what I'm reading right now. Hear My Heart. I did actually find a different Hanukkah book. I thought it was the one you had said earlier, 8 Days to Win Her Heart. No, it's a different name. Hanukkah at the Great Greenwich Ice Cream Store. Because I couldn't remember the name that you said, Desi, and so I was searching for Hanukkah, deaf character. This is a different book. And I was like, okay. There's another one. It is a little bit different. Okay. So they set up at the place to like kind of catch who is doing what, like who is meeting Iris. So we know Iris is involved. We don't know yet who is the other person. But if you've been reading the story, you probably think it's Wade because of the name and the computer and that kind of thing. And at the setup, they're trying to figure it out, and they ask us, send a message, can you come and help? And Tayan said, yeah, sure, I will come, but I have to go to class and I can't come right now. Wade, is Wade there? And they're like, look, what do you mean? I thought Wade was with you. Nope. Wade's not there. Wade's not there. So where is Wade? And that's the end of chapter 17. So I did think it was kind of funny that Felix, Cameron, and Marcus, it says they were our brawn. I thought that was funny, but also they're the only hearing ones, and they do have this little like conversation and happening like when it like in chapter 18, and I'm really curious about what they were saying. Like, are they saying like call the cops? Like, what are they saying? But they're whispering, and you can see that, and I thought it was funny. Yes. Emily's here. Hi. It's good to see you. So yes, I saw the comment. So it is DEAFinitelyReaders.com. You can find the Discord link, book list, all kinds of things. DEAFinitely readers.com. But welcome. We would be happy to see you there. Chapter 18. Well, we find out who it is. So they're setting everything up, and Iris comes up and she's walking, and Lennon goes to meet her. What did Lennon have with her? I don't remember to show her. Oh, was it the email or the text messages? I think it was. Oh yeah, it was the knife. But she was like, oh, okay, so she's walking up, and then she's talking, and another person comes up behind her, and like is like trying to choke her out. Lennon, like puts his arm behind her, and as Wade, she noticed his outfit, really. So I think they were using the video to be evidence for the cops. Like, if they could get her to say what happened, like what she did, they were going to use it as like evidence for the cops. True. It was a little bit silly. So no one liked this part. All this, like, you should not have gone in first. You should have waited for the other to come and meet. Yeah, that. You're right. They did. Okay. So you have to think. This is college students. Most of them may not be the smartest yet. Or no common sense, like, maybe not. So, with knowing Iris is there and Wade is there, Lennon was confused. Why Wade? What? I thought we were friends. And we find out, they're step siblings. So, earlier in the book, Iris mentions about her mother remarried. She has a step brother now, who has a dog or something, and that she didn't like him or whatever. So there's a comment about her new family. I thought when Theo was talking about siblings, that's who it was, but it wasn't. It's Wade. And that's, yeah. So that was a little bit shocking. True. It's like, what? Because all of that, who was in the room, going in her room, some of the creepy pictures, sending her different numbers. Well, it makes sense because Iris couldn't do that kind of thing. You needed a hacker, which Wade is. So, oh, true. Did you see that? Like Hope. So, in adding brother, like Wade has always been referred to as they, them, but using the word brother, maybe expected to say sibling instead. Iris, yes, that. She is irrational. Yes, that. So it's very, so, but it ends the chapter with a pew pew. Well, first, he has his arm around her. It's shocking. That is Wade. Why? I thought we were friends. And is saying that I blame you for everything because you were the first person and you didn't tell people to let them know and stop Ryder. How does she know that Lennon was the first person who got manipulated by Ryder? Because there could have been other people who didn't say anything. And then also, if Iris knew, she could have gone and told the cops, who could have then maybe questioned Lennon about it. The quote from that, right after, is that you can't treat people like pawns to fulfill some bitter, rage-fueled fantasy of retribution, revenge. And I was like, whoo, I think it's revenge. I think, yeah. I can't remember. Yes, because the song from Disney's Red, the kids like to sign it. Anyway, not the point. Yeah, that's the song. Oh. Huh. So they didn't find out that Ryder is not the ghost. Basically, Iris and Wade are the ghost. And it says, all the girls and Kimberly, background story explaining, it said that Branya death was an accident. They did not mean to hurt her. No, they meant to unalive Tayan because she was closer. She was closer with Lennon, and this was supposed to hurt Lennon because Iris is very, yeah, maybe. So Eden had a question, did Wade actually turn off the cameras? Ooh, I don't think it discussed that, and that's interesting, maybe. But someone called the police at the end of chapter 18. And the cops came, and Lennon thought Tayan had called the cops. But it's not her. So Wade and Iris get caught. And the cops take them on chapter 18. And then the last 2 chapters are really like short. So chapter 19 was messed up, so I will let you explain because I read it on Kindle. So on chapter 19, it was just Lennon is talking to Iris about why she did it, what was the point of it, and that kind of thing. So it did, she's like, Lennon told her, like, nothing I can say is gonna make you forgive me for not telling anything. She goes, why would I want to forgive you? Like, this was nothing about like absolving your guilt. I did all of this to make you feel pain, like my pain. And I was just like, but honestly, it's just talking about why she did it, what she did, and that kind of thing. And then it was talking too about she wants Lennon to help her get revenge on Ryder by telling the cops what happened, why it happened, and Lennon had told her, like, she had thought about it, but knew since he's rich, like, nothing was gonna happen from that. Like, what was the point? But oh wait, no. So the cops don't come until chapter 19. Yeah. So now we're on 20. Yeah. But yes, so we find out that Wade called the cops. So he already knew that they were planning to try to catch them. He felt like Iris, I think, was getting like out of hand. And that's where you find out that Iris's friend, Kimberly, who had left, her mom works at the college. So she helped Lennon, or she put Lennon in the room with Branya. That was not just a coincidence. Like, it was specifically for that because Branya they were not friends. Like, there was a lot that happened in high school. So not only that, when Lennon met with Wade, they were talking and she's like, why? And he tells her, like, why? Like, what happened? And he said, when Iris, why did I sign Iris? Iris, sorry. I don't know her sign name. When Iris pulled me in to the plan, she was not alone. She was not working alone. She was not working alone. She already had someone. And then Lennon was just like, what? And then after that, she got a text. And it said, I'm watching you. So we don't know it sets it up for a second book. There was a comment, I think Hope says she thinks that it might be Ava. What about Kimberly? You never meet her, but you know her mom is involved, and you know something happened with her and Ryder. Huh? Maybe. Who was with Iris at the party? She was there alone, yeah. But Theo brought a girl upstairs, Kara. There's a lot that it could be. Could it maybe be Theo? He's just tired of Ryder, like, not having a consequence. So I will say there was a quote that I forgot I wanted to say. In chapter 19, it says, the knowledge that nothing you do matters because someone else is making your choices for you. And I was like, ooh, ouch. So it is interesting. I felt like it was, so even though that text, oh, there's a third person, is put aside, but good things did happen now for Lennon. Wade and Iris were caught. She felt like, whew, Ryder is getting punished because she did tell the cops. Like, she went ahead, even though everything that happened with Iris, like, she could have said no. She went ahead, and then also, I think Tayan told, but I'm not sure about Ava. And now they're going to school is better for her. She is becoming a staff reporter for the newsletter, the school newsletter. And so actually I had a thought, ooh, Emery, I'm watching you. Emery, the girl, I don't know. She could be. I'm just thinking because, so did Iris and Wade got caught? Who is keeping tabs on Lennon? What person? That person texted, and Lennon had already commented to the cops about Ryder, and he's already doing some consequence. So what other, like, what, keeping watch on her, why? Yeah, maybe. So did Lennon give the police the knife? She had it at the place, so yeah, she did. So I'm assuming that Iris was going to an asylum, like a, mental institution, because, yeah. The writing, like her, like, journaling at the end felt a little bit yeah, it was quick. It felt a little, like, disconnected. Like, it didn't feel like it really fit because she had never written before, even though technically she wants to be a reporter. So maybe that's why. I don't know. But Eden made a comment at in the book. The last page is actually the names of some people, like this story is, I guess, based on, like, real life, like, women who were essayed. So you can look them up and that kind of thing. So I agree with you that at the end, it did feel a little bit quick. It was just like, okay, we're done. There was no leading to more. So maybe that's in the second book, maybe. But it didn't say anything about a second book. Maybe that's the secret. We can ask JD Mills on Monday. So they do have a book releasing February or April. Not sure if it's the second book. It is a like mystery book, but we can ask for sure on Monday. It says we should not have come here. February of 2026. It sounds spooky. Yeah, so that one is so, and I think I don't know what it's about, but the name of the book is We Should Not Have Come Here. So we can ask about it and see, is this the second book? Will we find out what happened? Who the third person? But yes. So this could be just the end. There's no closure or anything. Who knows? Yeah. But this is all of the book. I felt like it was a very good, accurate representation for deaf and hard of hearing characters. Multiple. Not just one. Yeah, multiple, yeah. So you had signing, you had people learning to sign, you had voice off, you had speaking, simcomming. So you had all of this. And then also at the same time, Lennon, you also had LGBTQIA because her romantic interest is Tayan. So I felt like it was a good book. What do you guys think? Yeah, I liked it. I wanted a little bit more. But that's just me. I wanted more mystery. I did like the realistic relationships between the friends and the siblings. I know you commented on it, the feeling that when you go to your parents' house or to a hearing person's house and you put on your hearing aids, and that moment you're just like, oh, I can relate to that. I've experienced that. And then you take them off like as soon as you're done when you're with friends and you're signing. And then when you like have to voice and with your family. Yeah. I like that. I think I would have liked a list of the characters, who is deaf, who is hard of hearing, who is hearing. We never really had that problem because we mostly read one or two characters that are deaf, and this is multiple. Oh, there's another book that we recently read, The Silent House. Yeah, by Nell Pattison. But you could really tell who was deaf and who was not. But this one, there was a lot of signing. So I think, so if you have the book with more than one character, maybe have a list of who is deaf and hard of hearing and who is hearing. Yeah, they made a lot of silly decisions, but I gave them some grace with that because they're college students. And I felt old when I said that to myself. I was like, oh, they're in college. And I was like, oh, I'm old now. Oh, good night. Not sure who said. Oh, Eden, good night. But yes, a list would be very helpful. But thank you for saying that, Desi and Sarah, because my work in progress, my book goes to the editor soon. I don't have a list, but I have a lot of deaf and hard of hearing characters, so maybe I should add. Yeah. I think there's 9 deaf and hard of hearing characters. So I think I need a list of who is deaf and who is hearing. Just to like be clear, this person is deaf, this person is hearing, they're hard of hearing. So yeah, you could say that like this person is deaf, they wear a cochlear. Yeah, this person is deaf, they don't have any cochlear, their voice off. And that, well, now that you said that you like, it would be helpful to have, yes, I will be adding that to the list because, and it's interesting because one of the girls, Alexis, she has a cochlear, but she identifies as hearing until later in the book because she was raised in a hearing family. And so she knows no sign. And then later, part of her growth is learning to accept her deaf identity and that she needs access. She needs signing. Like, so she has, in one of my favorite like quotes right now is she goes, "Oh, I'm hearing." And the main character of this story says, like, "Cochlears don't make you hearing, darling." Like, that doesn't mean you're hearing. So, but yeah, so I will be adding that to my list of to-dos of what I need to do. Oh, it is very sad when you realize that you're not college age anymore. So, Hope's comment. Okay. True. Yeah. I will say that I would have liked more. I would read a longer book by them. I do know that like industry standards is, a limited number of words, right? I think it's around 80,000 is normally the middle, the average. So maybe that's why they were trying to stay within that. I think they did try to like query, maybe that's why. But then I think they self-published like after that and this made the decision to go ahead. But I really did enjoy it. I felt like it was a good hard of hearing deaf author with deaf and hard of hearing characters. And so it felt very realistic to me. And the same way with the daisy chain reaction felt very real, like experiences to me. So 100% agree with you. And also I feel like maybe some paragraphs in this book was not necessary. It could have been replaced with more action and detail, dialogue instead of the description. Yeah. So, Hope, since I'm going to email her or them tomorrow with the list of questions, I'm going to go ahead and let them know. Desi, will you send me a picture of your formatting on your ebook? Because they may have no idea it's happening. And so I don't really want to bring it up on live, but I will, when I email the list of questions, I will just let them know and say, hey, like, some of our people had a little bit of an issue with the Kindle, like not understanding because of this kind of thing. Like, I'll add that just so that they're aware. Perfect. Or Hope, if you still have it up, if you want to send on Discord, you can send me the pictures. I know that there was a struggle with knowing when it was the day before or the time. And then also chapter 16 was a big mess up. Yeah. Do we have anything else that we need to discuss tonight? I'm tired and my voice hurts. So, mine hurts a little bit. Okay, so my throat is dry too because I'm mouthing and signing. I'm not. I typically end up mouthing and signing, and so air goes down my throat and makes it dry. So I am drinking my water. Yeah, water too. So, well, we have Monday, 8:30 Central Standard Time. We are going to go here on TikTok. We will be live with JD Mills. We'll find out their sign name. I don't know it. Right. But we'll go live. I will, I think I set a reminder on Discord for it, but also I'll probably like set a reminder on TikTok to like set up an event or something. I don't know. But that's Monday night. Yay! I'm excited. And then as soon as it's done, we will download it and then upload it to YouTube. So 45 minutes to an hour is what the interview typically lasts. Yeah. It's not going to be like dragging on. No, we try to keep it to a limit of like 25 questions, really, I think is what we typically ask. So we'll have that list of questions. Just there was a few on Discord that I added. This 2 tonight I need to add in on the live. And then the normal, hey, what do you do when you're not writing? You know, like fun questions kind of thing. Sounds good. I hope that will work. But okay, well, I guess we will see everyone on Monday. If you have any questions or need to contact us, you can click our links. You can message us. You can find us on Discord, whatever you need to do. But thank you guys for joining and for finishing this book. I would say 4 stars. I would say that. Maybe a little bit more, maybe 5. I don't know how I feel. We'll see. I'm done. Okay. Well, happy Wednesday, happy reading, and good night. Bye. Oh, and have a good weekend too. Yes, yes. Bye. Good night.